recently, and part of that was in there explained about the addiction I had on pain medicine, opiates. It's a big epidemic in this country, and it leads to heroin. I know some people personally that have experienced people that have died that they know very well, very close. It's hitting young adults, even youth, kids in high school. It's a real big issue in this country, and so if you have to take them, that's one thing. Try to avoid them if you can. But one thing for sure, when you're done with them, dispose of them. Best thing is to take them to your pharmacy, maybe even your doctor. But don't leave them around. What happens is kids get them, they get hooked on them, and then that leads to heroin because they can't get the pain pills, and then it leads to some overdoses. I did a part one. I just got a few more things to say. So part two here. Okay, I was addicted to them here for about 3 to 4 years, 2010 till, I don't know, close to my divorce. Anyway, I know that it masks your serotonin and your dopamine, which is the happy chemicals that you have in your brain. It took away a lot of my happiness. I basically turned to alcohol once I got off of them, but getting off of them was the worst thing that ever happened to me. It is the most miserable experience, and it leads to people, some people end up going to heroin because they can't get them. A lot of young adults end up getting a hold of their parents or somebody's leftover pain medicine. So that's why I say get rid of them if you're done with them. But just try to avoid pain medicine if you can. It's very easy to get hooked on. It didn't take, but I've heard 2 weeks is all it takes to get hooked on those things. If you can avoid them, try to avoid them. I lied. It ruined my life for a short time. I can't tell you, or I want to reiterate just basically how bad these things are. If you let yourself get hooked, and it doesn't take much more than a couple weeks, I've read, and what happens is the serotonin and the dopamine that I explained is basically what makes us happy, gives us our happiness. And with the pills, it numbs those things. And yes, you may be happy when you're on the pills, it feels good. But when you start to try to get off of them, you start to feel kind of shitty. And you also feel kind of grouchy and edgy. And it just takes away all your happiness. So I got off of them, but when you get off of them, a lot of people have to go through the treatment. I don't know how I got through it because it was the most miserable thing ever. But what happens is you get off of them and you still don't have those chemicals. So I got depressed. You get depressed. You are not the same person. It took many years for me to get back to where I'm at, and I'm happy as I can be. But if you can avoid them, do.
About 18 months ago. At the time, I wasn't sure, but I'm very sure, and I've been sure for some time because it's easy. My reason for being here and being saved twice is to help young adults and youth alike get away from this evil drug and give them some guidance into adulthood. And I hope you'll support me in that decision because my heart's fully into this.